If you have not seen Sinners, the movie, run, don't walk. As a matter of fact, we can't even talk until you go see it. We can't. We can't talk until you go see it. Ryan Coogler has created a cultural, societal, historical, generational, musical, supernatural, spiritual extravaganza for the screen. I mean, we don't even know what genre to fit it in, and he did that on purpose. Now, they tell me that it's a horror movie, but I don't think so. Horror, because yes, you've probably heard by now, there are vampires, or we're going to get to that. And yes, you probably have heard that there's quite a bit of guts and gore and blood. Yes, we're going to get to that too. But the reason I wanted to talk to you about Sinners, the movie, family, come on in, come on in. We having a chat. The reason I wanted to talk to you about Sinners in this conversation, this is a conversation we have to have because I'm a spiritual gal. I teach spirituality on all my channels, ValerieLove.com, ChristianWitches.com. And the spirituality of this movie from multiple perspectives is on point. We could not let this movie pass without us having a conversation about it. Hey, love tubers, how you loving? How you loving? So, Whisperer, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. So happy to see you. So happy to see you. So let's get right into it. First of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of premise of the movie, not big spoilers. I'm not going to tell you who lives, who dies. I'm not going to tell you what happens to whom. It might be some tiny spoilers, no big spoilers. So here's the gist of the movie. You all might have heard by now that Michael B. Jordan plays twins. He's playing two people in one movie. Chef's kiss, hats off. Oh, this is a new movie. It's called Sinners, the movie. Okay. Thank you. Happy 20th anniversary to me. This is my 20-year anniversary this month of teaching and speaking on spirituality. Happy Resurrection Sunday and happy for 2020 for all my puff puff past people in the house. Come on. I love everybody. Okay. Ain't no judgment here. Do whatever you do, baby. So here's the premise. Michael B. Jordan is playing twins. So he's playing two people. I won't tell you the names. I won't reveal that. And I won't reveal what the two characters are about, except that these are twin brothers. Now these are twin black brothers who are originally from Mississippi. Okay. The movie is set in Mississippi in 1932, right in the 1930s. So it's after slavery, yet it's still sharecropping, Jim Crow, yet it's not super crazy. The Klan is still kind of around. Some people will say the Klan is still around. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day. And so these two brothers, they had left Mississippi many years ago, and they had gone to war. They were in World War One, where they learned combat. That's going to come in handy. And they also went to Chicago. Now, while they were in Chicago, they were hanging with the big guns like Al Capone and all of them. But when they left, I won't tell you what happened. Yet when they left, they wound up having all this money. So what are they going to do with the money? They want to open a juke joint, right? And so they open this juke joint, and baby, the shit hits the fan. Now, here's the thing that I want to talk to you about. The movie starts at a church. The movie wraps that church story up at the end. It does wrap up that church story. So, the very first thing that we want to talk about right here is we want to talk about Black people in the church because you can't talk about Black people in the 1930s or the 1970s or the 2000s without talking about church. It's almost like Black people in church are inextricably linked, and for good and for not so good, because Black people, we have a way of taking things that have been handed to us and turning them into exquisite delights that other people didn't want to participate in, right? So they gave us the scraps of the pig, and we took the scraps and made chitlins and pig feet and all of that. And now people want chitlins and pig feet from Black people. So that's what we did. And we took, they called us niggas. I guess I'm not supposed to be using the N word, but there it is. And we took it around, and our brothers use it as a term of endearment among each other. They gave us the Bible, and we took it around and add some church. We took it and we add some color in there and some hooping and some hollering and getting the spirit and speaking in tongues. And we added African beats in there, and then you got a Black church. Okay, that ain't what they gave us. That's what we made. I want everybody to be clear that they gave us a lot of things as Black people in America. Oh, they gave us a lot of things. And we took the things that they gave us or called us or shoved to us like that was supposed to be ours, and we transmuted it. That's what we did. We transmuted it. Now, please don't get me wrong. Don't think that I'm one of these Black people that hates white people. I don't. Don't think that I'm one of these Black people that think Black people is better than other people. I don't. There is no group of people that is any better than any other group of people. I celebrate my own ancestry as I celebrate other people's ancestry too. I'm proud of my heritage, and I hope everyone is proud of their heritage. And when I say proud of my heritage, I'm talking about my entire heritage to include Puerto Rican, Scottish, Irish. I was just looking at all of those results from my ancestry again today to find if I had any Choctaw Indian in there. Anyway, I'm going to tell you why in a moment. So, first of all, we are exploring the theme of Black people and the church. And this plays very heavily into the movie. I won't tell you why, yet I will tell you this part, that when you were talking about Black people in the church, there's a very important theme that emerges in the movie. And this theme that emerges in the movie is that playing music and getting down in the juke joint, that's the devil's business. Okay? Playing music and getting down in the juke joint with all that grinding and sweating and all that, that's the devil's business. But now, is it? Is music the enemy? Is music the devil's business? Because he was a musician. He wasn't in there, well, he was doing a lot of different things. But anyway, you'll see that when you go see the movie. The key is that Ryan Coogler here is talking about that when the church tells you don't go to the club, and when the church tells you don't be grinding and sweating in these late night juke joints, and when they caution you about that, is for a reason. Now, keep that in mind. I won't tell you the reason, yet it is attractive to many different kinds of energies when people are dancing and grinding and laughing and joking and drinking and gambling. It attracts a lot of different kinds of energy. I'm not going to tell you about what kind of energies we're talking about. You're going to see that in the movie. What I am saying is that the church was bought right front and center as a cautionary tale to tell you, if you go to the juke joint, you are sliding over to the devil's territory. And well, it did not prove to be wholly inaccurate. I'll just put it like that so there's no spoilers, because I don't want to spoil the movie for you. You've got to see it for yourself. The next aspect is the preacher's boy. So let's talk about PKs. Let's talk about PKs in the Black Christian community. PKs are the preacher's kids. Now, preacher's kids are notorious for being the most badass, law breaking hellions in the whole church. The PKs, the preacher's kids. Why? Because they have been so repressed. See, that repression of what you truly want to do, he explores that theme of what happens when you repress natural urges and desires. What happens? Okay, so there's a character in there. Oh, don't we know, Soul Whisperer? So there's a character in there, and she is married. And she's at the juke joint, but she ain't with her husband. And when she gets there, she looks like a very prim and proper, right and proper young lady. And when she gets there, I won't tell you what she does. I will tell you this aspect of it because we're talking about the spiritual aspect. She represents the shadow. All of the things that are deep in us, our desires and the things we really want to do, I'm too afraid to do them, or it wouldn't be proper, or society might not like me if they found out I wasn't a nice, prim, and proper little girl or little boy. Hmm. And when she enters the door of the juke joint, she can be who she really wants to be. The movie was deep. Come on, come on, come on. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Loved it. Oh, I'm definitely going to see it again. And family, when you go to see it, go see it on an IMAX theater. So this woman, Ryan Coogler is exploring our shadow side. What are the repressed desires, urges, instincts that you would just give into if no one knew who you were, if you weren't around your husband, your wife, your children, your church, your friends? What are your deepest, darkest urges? Because he asked that question in the movie. Okay, let's go now to the hoodoo. Baby, there's a hoodoo in the movie. And I don't mean one of these fake Hollywood hoodoos. You know how Hollywood, they love to show us these fake voodoo practitioners. Hollywood, this is what Hollywood thinks voodoo is. Get a doll and put some pins in it, and the lady looks real wild and crazy and scary. That's what Hollywood thinks voodoo is. Voodoo means oneness. Voodoo means spirit. Voodoo means that there is spirit and life in all things, which is the infinite consciousness, the source. Voodoo is not what they showed you in the movies, baby. It just is not. Okay? And my people come from voodoo in Benin and Togo and Mali. My people, look up your ancestry. Your people probably may descend too from voodoo, from Vodun or practices that are very similar to the African traditional religions, ATRs. So look it up. Voodoo is not what Hollywood told us. We know better than to believe Hollywood. Yet, Ryan Coogler is not actually Hollywood. Ryan Coogler is Ryan Coogler. And Ryan Coogler got us a real hoodoo. Props, Ryan Coogler, for actually doing the research, actually calling hoodoo practitioners, and actually getting the hoodoo right. Okay, so we go to the hoodoo. We got to go into the woods because you know the medicine woman, the tincture priestess, the magical practitioner, the witch, the herbalist, the one who has the knowledge and the wisdom and the roots and the herbs and the potions and the healing and the protection. They had to go see her. They get to see her. Oh, yeah, it was hoodoo. It was hoodoo. She was a hoodoo practitioner. And sure enough, they go see her, and some little girls had come to get something for their mama, and she gave them the little thing and sent them on the way. And then she looked at them and said, "You still got that mojo bag?" Baby, she had the name right. They had the name right, Hollywood. I give Hollywood props because we have to give props where props are due when it comes to spiritual practices, because Hollywood loves to treat spiritual practices and hoodoo and voodoo like it's some crazy witch, black witch, crazy, destructive energy that everybody ought to be afraid of. They love to do that. Don't let Hollywood mess with your mind when it comes to African traditional religions and when it comes to spirituality. Don't let Hollywood really, dare I say, fuck you up. No, fuck you right on up. It was funk, but I'm just saying. And so we can't, and the thing about it is, these images stick in our brains. You must guard your gates, guard your eye gates, guard your ear gates, guard your heart gate. And I don't mean have a closed heart, I mean boundaries. Because Hollywood, so we can't believe the things that they churn out in Hollywood because they're always going to make the witch evil. Look at every Disney movie. Have you seen one good witch yet? They want to get your soul. They want to look at Ursula, the sea witch. They want to. Oh, Lord. I'm not going to get on that conversation. That's a conversation for another day. That hoodoo knew her stuff, didn't she? Come on now. She knew her stuff, okay? Because I listened to, I didn't speak with the actress. I listened to the actress as she was talking about preparing for the role. And she said that they brought in hoodoo practitioners. See, they honored the craft. Ryan Coogler is honoring not just the church people, he's also honoring the hoodooists. He's the hoodoo practitioner. I'm sure they don't call themselves hoodooists, the hoodoo. He's honoring both. You see, and sometimes these fights, sometimes people think, well, if you're in church, you can't do no hoodoo. And if you, hoodoo practitioners know that you can do hoodoo in church because that's what they do. Yet, I've always found it fascinating that Christians seem to be completely unaware and naive as to the fact that all magical practices use part of Christianity. Hollywood is afraid of it because they're afraid of it. Yeah, hello, right? Um, Christians seem to be the only people that are unaware of the fact that you can, and I'm not talking about all Christians, because there are many very progressive Christians that absolutely understand and know that the Christian faith is connected to paganism, is connected to hoodoo, is connected to ceremonial magicians. Ceremonial magicians right now are using names of God from the Bible to call their spirits and their demons and their entities that they're talking to and the angels that they're talking to. Sorcerers are using material from the Bible and it works. But Christians seem to be the only people that don't understand how magic works because they're like, wah, 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 wah. Like they don't want to understand. Yet I love the approach that Ryan Coogler takes in this movie because what he is showing you is that yes, here's the church and here's the hoodoo, and we need both and we can coexist. And as a matter of fact, you wouldn't have one without the other. You wouldn't have hoodoo without the church, and you wouldn't have hoodoo without magic. Okay, let's go further. The hoodoo practitioner, when it pops off and it becomes aware that there is something that has gone terribly awry and that their destruction is very near. I won't tell you how. Of course, this is when the vampires come out. The hoodoo figures it out first. She said, oh, wait a minute. Are these haints? First, she called them haints. And we know what haints are because in the traditional South, they call haints, even down in Haiti, they call haints these undead people that come back from the dead, right? Or ghosts, except some of them are very nefarious. They don't have good intentions, right? There's some who die and they rise to the realm of the ancestors, but all haints are not like that. Okay, so these undead are not haints. She's like, oh my goodness, they're vampires. She was the one that told them these are vampires. And then, of course, we have all the vampire lore. We have the garlic. We have the holy water. We have the sunlight. We have the fact that they need to drink your blood. We have the fact that they're going to kill you and you wake up as a vampire. So all of the vampire lore is intact. But I promise you, this is not a vampire movie, not like Twilight. Now, Twilight is a vampire series. It is full of vampires. It is all about vampires. When I tell you that Ryan Coogler, he didn't just bend the genre, he got rid of genres. Why? He said something very fascinating. Oh, didn't she catch it fast? Didn't she catch it fast that, oh, wait a minute, we're not dealing with haints here. These are vampires. And they couldn't cross the doorstep, they had to be invited in. And so all the vampire lore was intact. Now, let's go to the Choctaw Indians because they were in it too. And I don't want to say Indians, First Nations, the Choctaw Nation. The Choctaw Nation had been already hip to the vampire before anybody else knew. They were the first ones to know anything about this vampire. Like I said, mild spoilers, but I won't tell you how it turned out. I won't tell you all the different things that went on. The Choctaw Nation were the ones that knew first about this supernatural entity, this being, and was on hot on the heels of this being and had this being out in the sun. And the being was toasted and frying, and I won't tell you how he got away. He barely escaped from the Choctaw. Now, let's go to Native American cosmology and mythology. And I can't say Native American as if they're all the same because they're not. So the Choctaw Nation is different from the Iroquois Nation. The Iroquois Nation is different from the Cherokee Nation. The Cherokee Nation is different from the other nations. They all have their own unique stories, culture, heritage, lands, all of it. Yet all of them, I was reading quite a bit of Choctaw mythology today. They do have stories about the undead. Now, it doesn't look like a vampire. Let's be very clear. A vampire is a European mythological creature. The vampire did not come from Africa. The vampire did not come from Scotland or Ireland. The vampire came from European concepts when malaria and things like that were sweeping their part of the globe. It wasn't sweeping the whole globe. It was sweeping their part of the land, and the vampire became a metaphor for disease that spreads and takes human life. The vampire is a very interesting metaphor. What is the vampire metaphor for? And Ryan Coogler uses it as a metaphor in the movie. The vampire in the movie is a metaphor for I'm going to take over you and subsume you and make you like me. And he points it at the music industry. He's drawing the parallel. He's drawing the music. Now, the people are doing their music. The music is so good in the juke joint. And here you have an attraction of predatory bloodsuckers, sort of like the music industry. Okay? Or how they used to be. Do you remember? Oh my goodness, wasn't it really good? So good. I'm going to see it again. I am going to see it again. Do you remember New Edition? Do you remember that we were crazy over New Edition? If it isn't love, why does it feel this way? We were crazy over New Edition. Those five young men, them teenage boys, they were living in the hood. He said they told us later the horrors of the music industry, that at the height of their career, they were touring and they were in huge stadiums doing concerts for thousands of people in the stadium, and each of them would go home with something like $800 cash in their pocket. And they thought they was living. They thought they had arrived. $800 back then per person for a 15, 16-year-old had them signing egregious contracts. Vampirism, predatory. And what was the vampiric predatory energy attracted to? What drew it? The excellence in the music. The music. The music was so good that even the evil spirits were like, opportunity. We're going to take that over and we're going to make it ours. Blues was sung by Black people, but when other people sang, it became bluegrass. Black people in this country, and wow, we're so much better now. We're so much better now. And I don't blame, when I say colonizers, because I'm about to talk about the colonizers now. When I talk about colonizers, I say all the time on my YouTube channel, colonizer is not a color, because we cannot assume that all Scottish people or all Irish people or all people of a certain color were doing the same thing. They were not. Colonizer is a consciousness. Colonizer is not a color. You still have colonizers right now, and you had colonizers in Africa before the white people ever came. Black people, let's just be honest. We've had colonizers throughout human history, all different colors. You still have colonizers to this day. Colonizer is not limited to any one particular color. So I know how Black people use the word colonizer, yet I'm telling you how I use the word colonizer. I'm the universal gal. We are all one. I'm not with the anything other than we are one. Because I like peace in my life and I'm aligned with the universal source. And the universal source informs me we are all one consciousness, right? We're all one consciousness. And I promise you, in the movie, it shows you that because it showed you multiple different colors of people all together. Okay, so the vampiric energy was attracted to the music. The music was so good, and they were getting it. This scene is the best movie scene probably that I've ever seen in my life. The movie will give you all the feels. You'll be terrified, you'll be crying, you'll be laughing, you'll be feeling it because they got some sex scenes in there. The movie will give you all the feels. All the feels. Yes, Tracy, right? We are one. There ain't no this color, that color, that. Nah, we don't do that. That's another um, that's another plot of puppeteers of humanity to try to get us to fight each other so we won't unite and become all powerful beings like we know we are. Right? There are people that are counting us on us fighting. And I say we don't need to fight. We can discuss the Choctaw Nation and Black people in America, and we can both be proud of our heritage and hold our heads high. And we can talk the Irish. He had Irish music in this one. I went on iTunes to get the soundtrack. He had Irish music, and I promise you something. I got to tell you something about these Irish vampires. Because the vampires were all different colors. The black vampires, Chinese vampires, Irish vampires. I don't want to give it away. The vampire energy, what Ryan Coogler is showing you, is that is not limited to one person. It's infectious, and when it takes over, then it even gets the people who are of the same color as you, who would normally be your brothers and your sisters, and would watch over you, to get you to be subsumed into this vampire energy that's going to drain you dry of your life blood and make you into a hive mind, make you into a robot, a product of the machine, the music industry machine. That's why I love people like India Ari, because she didn't get subsumed in the machine. That's why I love Alicia Keys. She didn't let herself get chewed up and manipulated and created into a puppet by the machine. Oh, we have Erica Badu. She certainly ain't let the machine get her. Oh, we have many, many, many incredible musicians who did not allow themselves to be bit by the vampire. They threw some holy water on that joke and was like, somebody else, somebody next. So Ryan Coogler, he's telling a story. This is the best part about how he does it. He's telling a story without preaching. He's showing you things without telling you what's right or what's wrong. He's putting things before you without making a judgment call about that. This is a very fine line to walk, because I hate watching preachy movies. Do you? Do you know what I'm talking about? That you watch the thing and you know the thing is preaching at you, it's telling you what you should think. I hate that shit. I turn it off. I also like that he has not weaved in the quote unquote things of the day that you have to weave in. You have to put in one gay couple, you have to put in two lesbian women kissing at the first 5 minutes, you have to put in a black person, a Spanish person, a Chinese. When we're watching this, we know we're being manipulated. Like, this doesn't seem natural. Like, me and my gay friends and my lesbian friends is very natural. Yet when you watch these things on the screen, sometimes I'm like, okay, did they have to configure all the? Do you ever feel like that when you're watching something? Oh, they had to put in these group of people, and this person. It feels contrived. It doesn't feel natural, like how it is in real life. In real life, we have all kinds of people. How come it just doesn't flow like that on the screen? because they're trying to tell us what to think. And you find none of that in this exquisite movie. None of that. Okay, let's go further. The hoodoo, let's examine now death. What is death? What is death? In this movie, there's no such thing as death. There's a continuation. Okay? I don't think anything died in this movie, even though it looked like people died. And I won't tell you who because I don't want to do any big spoilers. These are tiny spoilers. So he's exploring the themes of death. When I tell you it's cultural, it's supernatural, it's spiritual, it's societal, it's musical, it's emotional, it's mental. Oh, he did that. Oh, he did that. And I have a heartfelt stance that when people do something of excellence, we ought to talk about it, celebrate it, pour our money into it. So we teach Hollywood to stop churning out this trash and putting it out in front of us. I'm tired of seeing these little Marvel people run around and make jokes. I mean, it's all good. Marvel is all good. But once you've seen 10 Marvel movies, do you really need to see 10 more? And they need to stop putting in front of us gratuitous car races, crashes, blowing up stuff, a gun, with no intelligence behind it. No story. Where's the storytelling? Where have all the griots gone? Where are the great storytellers of the age? Where are the movies that we love? Where's Gone with the Wind? I don't know how to birth no babies, Miss Hattie. Right? Where are the stories that make you cry, the stories that make you remember, the stories that make you say, wow, the story that when you leave the movie, you leave changed. Where are those stories? Here's one. Here's one. Because this story will change you. Now let's look at, we looked at the themes of death, we looked at the shadow, we looked at the church, we looked at the vampiric music industry, we looked at hoodoo and the mojo bag and the protection. We looked at how Black people take whatever is given to us and we transmute it into something that suits our needs. Let's now talk about this twinning that Michael B. Jordan did. Michael B. Jordan plays two people. Woo! Money in the vortex! Come on, baby! Money in the vortex! Money in the vortex! Ryan Coogler's transcendental music scene is something that has never been done in movies. Don't let the bloodsuckers inside and don't let anybody steal your magic. James, you said it. You said it, James. You said it. It's transcendental, it's spiritual, it's supernatural, it's societal, it's cultural, it's musical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's sexual. Transcendental. James, have you ever seen anything like that in the movies? Well, you said it. You said transcendental music scene is something that has never been done in the movies. It's never been, I've never seen it. I have never seen anything like that. Money in the vortex. Thank you for the super chat. Mwah. Billionfold return to you. I have never seen anything like that in the movies. Never. And you know what? I don't go to the movies often. I think the last time I went to the movies was to see Wicked. That was the last movie that inspired me. Wicked. This movie, not only does it inspire me, it ignites something in me. It causes me. Today, I wrote a whole story because I'm also a storyteller. I'm a writer. I wrote a whole story today. I spent hours writing today, perfecting my craft. Why? Because as an artist, whatever kind of artist you may be, all of us are artists. We're artists of our lives. We're artisans. Are you creating masterpieces? Like we know Hollywood would just churn out what's going to make the most money. That's why they made a Matrix 4. Really, Hollywood? You gathered them all back together again to give us Matrix 4, Matrix 4. They can't let a good thing alone. They cannot do it. They simply cannot let a good thing alone. They can't do it. Wicked was the last movie that was an absolute spectacle, an inspiration. It was uplifting. The music was extraordinary. It gave you the feels, all the feels. It gave you highs and lows. It gave you a whole cast of characters. That's why when you come to the Christian Witches Convention this year, our party on Saturday night is themed for Wicked. And last night on my party, they were already talking about in my anniversary party. It's here on YouTube, so make sure you watch it. It's pretty long. We went for almost 4 hours. It was so good. My 20th anniversary party of speaking and teaching on spirituality. That when you, oh, what was I getting ready to say? Child, I forgot it just that fast. Okay. Well, anyway, let's continue. So when you look at excellence and when you look at artistry, we ought to celebrate and vote with our dollars and go to the movies that are actually good, and the ones that are trash, leave them be, leave them by the wayside. Let's not let Hollywood keep pumping out all this mindless shit in front of us. Netflix and all these streaming services. We're paying good money. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube Prime, YouTube, what's YouTube? YouTube Premium. We're paying good money for all of these things. They need to up their game. Now, HBO, they're up there. HBO has a nice standard. They're up there. They produce real stories. The rest of these streaming services, they're just pumping out stuff, a lot of stuff to justify Netflix, their 21 or $22 a month or whatever it is, with here and there a gem thrown in like Bridgerton. Here and there you get a gem in a sea of mediocrity. You're just looking at all this. I cut off Netflix. I'm like, why do I pay all this money every single month to watch? And I'm flipping through Netflix trying to find something good, and it's just trash after trash. It's full. Oh, it's full. It's overflowing with stuff to watch. But where are the real stories that reach into your chest and grab your heart, like Ryan Coogler just did now? Ryan Coogler, we know that he did Fruitvale Station. He did Creed. He did Black Panther 1 and 2. And now, the studio asked him, what would you make if we gave you a blank check? Well, maybe not a blank check. It was $90 million. What would you make if you just cooked up something out of your mind? He's like, I'm like, oh. Not only is this man a director, this man is a storyteller. He hatched this thing out of his mind. And yet, on some of these shows, you could have a whole team of writers and they still can't come up with a good story. A whole team of writers, a whole room full of writers pumping out just stuff. What are they doing? What are they doing in Hollywood? What are they doing? Obviously, they don't think very much of us because they keep putting in front of us just shoot them up, drugs, sex, cussing, Rambo kind of things, car chases, blow up, lots of noise. It's like a lot of shock and awe. It's like sizzle and no steak. And Ryan Coogler gave you sizzle and steak. Now, because I'm a spiritual gal and I love talking about spirituality, last night's celebration of your greatness was so epic. Congratulations on 20 years of awesomeness. Love you much. Tracy. And oh my goodness, your words were so beautiful. And everyone watch it because there is a message in there for you near the beginning of Mama Ia, who is Reverend Dr. Yala Van Sant, my spiritual mom, mother, and teacher, master teacher. There is a powerful message from her in there. So watch it. It's right here on the YouTube channel. So I want to conclude with this. First of all, go see the movie. Tell Hollywood, vote with your dollars, vote with your feet. I'm going to go see it again, right? Vote with that and say, this is the standard, Hollywood. It's time for us to tell them what to do. This is the standard, Hollywood. We require good movies out of you. We require well researched movies out of you. We require movies that are beyond the normal tropes. We require movies that are not preaching at us. We require movies that have more than just a whole bunch of cars blowing up. We require good stories. We want the stories. We need the stories. We're story beings. Okay, let's conclude with this. The church is in there. Oh, love it. The church is in there. Hoodoo is in there. And it's true to the church and it's true to hoodoo. The supernatural is in there. The people who are most attuned to the supernatural beings were the Choctaw Nation, First Nations, and the hoodoo. Those were the people that knew, not the regular people. The regular people didn't know what they were looking at. The Choctaw Nation knew, and then the hoodoo was the first person to know among the humans. Why? Because these people were tuned in to a higher consciousness. They're tapped in, right? The twins was about, we're gonna get this money, we're gonna get this juke joint, we're gonna party, and we're gonna create a space for our people, and we're gonna have some good music, right? They wanted to have a club. Yet there was more to it than that. So much more. The themes, sub themes that are explored of the deep shadow self, of what is death, of what is vampirism, what does it mean to be overtaken and your authentic self is no longer there because it's been subsumed by this predatory hive mind? What is music and the power of music? What is the power of community and people coming together in celebration? What is it like to defy your parents, as Preacher Boy did? He's a preacher's kid. What is it like to defy your parents for what you love and what you want, and you break the status quo and you don't follow what the path is that's laid out for you? The preacher's kid, the preacher told him, you're going to be preaching in this church when I'm done. You next up. He was like, oh, no, I'm not. So I'll let you see how that plays out. What is the struggle of light and dark? And how does it play out in culture, society, with different races of people? How does it play out along the historical experiences that we have had in America, like slavery, Jim Crow, KKK? Even though those are not at the forefront, they're around, so you know it's not a slave movie. It doesn't talk anything about slavery at all. You get a whiff that the KKK is, oh, they're around. What does that mean? And what does it mean today, right now? There are so many messages in this movie. This movie is layered, it is intelligent, it is storytelling at its finest, and it does contain one of the most epic scenes ever created for the big screen. Now, when you go to see it on an IMAX theater, and I tell you why. He shot it on film, not digital. He shot it on actual film. And he said, this is a person who loves the movies and loves the craft and is excellent at his craft. And then he showed you that the film that he shot it on, he could run it through this way and this way. It is next level. I want you to go to the Kodak channel here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, I want you to hop over to YouTube and I want you to look at the Kodak YouTube channel and look at the video. Ryan Coogler breaks down each type of film, and then he breaks down how the film shows on different types of screens. And then he breaks down the 15 screens throughout the world, many in the United States, one in London, that has this particular kind of screen. And then he breaks down five more screens. One of them was in Brooklyn that had this particular type of viewing experience. He made this movie in such a way that you could choose what type of aspect ratio you want to watch the movie in. What? We can choose the aspect ratio of the movie. Next level. Next level. Oh, you need these rings? All the rings, right? All the rings. Next level. And I won't even say next level. I will say broke the box. And I hope he breaks the box office. Because when you bust out of the box, you ought to bust up the box office. Family, go see it. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. And here's a little peek, not a big spoiler, just a little peek. Stay after the credits because after the first credits roll, there's an extended scene, kind of Marvel style. There's an extended scene that you definitely have to see that sets up possibly some things in the future. We shall see. Ryan Coogler, Chef's Kiss. Michael B. Jordan, Chef's Kiss. All of the actors and actresses in this movie, Chef's Kiss, a masterpiece. I love you. Reverend Valerie Love, ValerieLove.com. Peace. Kaisi out.